20 forgotten church potluck dishes everyone used to bring. Remember when church potlucks meant tables groaning under the weight of homemade dishes that took all day to prepare? Every congregation had their signature contributors. The lady with the famous green bean casserole, the family that always brought that mysterious Jell-O salad, and the secret recipes passed down through generations. These potluck classics were the heart of church fellowship, bringing communities together one shared meal at a time, until busy schedules and store-bought convenience made them disappear from fellowship halls. Let's take a trip back to when Sunday suppers meant more than pizza delivery and explore 20 forgotten church potluck dishes everyone used to bring. The Casserole Queens. Nothing defined church fellowship quite like the casserole ladies. One-dish wonders that fed entire congregations. Kitchen queens who mastered the art of stretching ingredients. These weren't just dinner contributions. They were edible expressions of faith. Community care served in aluminum pans. Love made visible through cream of mushroom soup. 1. Tuna Noodle Casserole Supreme appeared at 78% of church dinners nationwide. Friday night salvation for Catholic congregations. Budget-friendly dish that allowed every family to contribute regardless of income. Cream of mushroom soup base that created gourmet comfort food from pantry staples. Fed 12 people for under $3. Canned tuna, egg noodles, frozen peas, crushed potato chips on top. Depression-era resourcefulness meets suburban convenience. Made every cook seem accomplished through simple assembly. 2. King Ranch Chicken Spread from Texas churches to national fame. Recipe exchanges that built communities. Tortilla layering technique that predated Tex-Mex mainstream popularity. Regional pride dish that showcased cultural heritage within congregations. Used leftover Sunday chicken efficiently. Created impressive presentation that fooled dinner guests. One dish that fed fellowship halls. Cost practically nothing. Looked like sophisticated entertaining. 3. Funeral potatoes sustained Mormon and Midwest communities through difficult times. Hash brown base with cheese topping that comforted through carbohydrates. Community support expressed through shared comfort food preparation. Served at every church gathering from funerals to celebrations. The innovation was democratic dining, making every family capable of impressive contribution. Stretching modest budgets into fellowship abundance. Creating community through shared preparation wisdom. But convenience culture intervened. Fresh seafood became accessible nationwide. Mercury concerns emerged about canned tuna. Health consciousness made cream-heavy casseroles seem unhealthy. Authentic Mexican cuisine made American adaptations seem embarrassing. Modern potlucks feature quinoa bowls that cost more than entire 1960s meals. Catered convenience that eliminates personal contribution. Individual dietary restrictions that complicate communal sharing. Today's church dinners emphasize convenience over community connection. Store-bought ease over homemade dedication. But they've never replicated the fellowship created when entire congregations cooked together. When casseroles meant caring. The Gelatin Galaxy. Church fellowship discovered sophistication through suspended science. Molded masterpieces that impressed through chemistry. Gelatin artistry that transformed simple ingredients into elegant presentations. These weren't just salads. They were edible sculptures. Scientific homemaking that demonstrated modern cooking mastery. Fellowship sophistication through suspension technology. 4. Orange fluff salad dominated 1960s to 1980s church tables everywhere. Dessert salad that confused meal categories successfully. Cool Whip and marshmallow combination creating fluffy perfection. Made fruit consumption fun through artificial enhancement. Crowd-pleasing dessert that satisfied children and adults equally. Orange Jell-O, Cool Whip. Mini marshmallows. Mandarin orange segments. Cottage cheese. Sometimes crushed pineapple. Scientific cooking that required no actual cooking skills. Assembly artistry that impressed through presentation alone. 5. Lime Jell-O cottage cheese surprise elevated potluck sophistication through suspension engineering. Gelatin technology that held disparate ingredients in translucent harmony. demonstrated modern homemaking through scientific methods, stretched expensive ingredients through gelatin multiplication magic, cottage cheese, crushed pineapple, celery bits, mayonnaise, suspended in lime-flavored perfection, made ordinary ingredients seem exotic through chemical enhancement, fellowship food that looked expensive while costing practically nothing. 6. Cranberry salad connected church meals to holiday traditions year-round. Tart-sweet balance that made cranberries palatable beyond Thanksgiving. Ruby red elegance that impressed through natural color intensity. Beautiful presentation that elevated simple fellowship tables instantly. Fresh cranberries, walnuts, pineapple, orange zest, suspended in clear gelatin matrices. Holiday sophistication available every Sunday. Made seasonal ingredients accessible through preservation science. The innovation was democratic elegance, making every cook capable of impressive presentations. Creating sophistication through scientific cooking rather than expensive ingredients. Fellowship enhancement through suspension artistry. But authenticity defeated chemistry completely. Health consciousness revealed artificial ingredient concerns. Year-round fresh vegetables eliminated preservation needs. Gelatin texture became associated with hospital food rather than gourmet sophistication. Modern fruit displays emphasize natural sweetness over artificial enhancement. Farm-to-table movements prefer fresh over molded presentations. Aspic dishes appeal to food historians rather than mainstream congregations. Today's church potlucks feature fresh fruit arrangements that cost significantly more but lack the community satisfaction of molded masterpieces. When gelatin was genius. The salad sensations. Church potlucks demanded fresh contributions that balanced heavy casseroles. Salad artistry that impressed through architectural engineering. Layered masterpieces that showcased ingredient organization. These weren't just vegetables. They were edible construction projects. Fellowship engineering that demonstrated planning skills. Community nutrition through creative assembly. 7. Seven-layer salad dominated 1970s to 1990s potluck tables through architectural achievement. Ingredient layers that showcased organizational mastery. Mayonnaise seal that preserved vegetables while creating visual impact. Made salad preparation impressive through engineering rather than expensive ingredients. Iceberg lettuce base. Layer by layer construction. Peas, onions, hard-boiled eggs, bacon bits, cheese shreds. Mayonnaise coating that sealed everything perfectly. Architectural salad that required advanced planning and presentation confidence. Fed large crowds while appearing elegant and sophisticated. Made simple vegetables seem special through strategic layering. Demonstrated organizational skills that impressed fellow church members. Engineering achievement disguised as salad contribution. 8. Ambrosia salad spread Southern tradition to nationwide church recognition. Fruit and marshmallow combination creating dessert salad hybrid confusion. Regional specialty that showcased Southern hospitality traditions within congregational settings. Simple ingredients that created impressive presentation results consistently. Mandarin oranges, pineapple chunks, coconut flakes, mini marshmallows, sour cream binding. Sometimes maraschino cherries for color drama. Southern sophistication that traveled well beyond regional boundaries. Made ordinary fruit combinations seem exotic through creative assembly. Connected congregations to Southern cooking heritage. Demonstrated regional pride through traditional preparation methods passed down through generations. The innovation was presentation engineering, making ordinary ingredients extraordinary through architectural assembly, creating visual impact that justified potluck table placement, fellowship enhancement through organizational demonstration. But simplicity defeated complexity eventually. Health consciousness questioned mayonnaise-heavy preparations that masked vegetable benefits. Fresh dressing preferences replaced heavy coating methods. Marshmallow additions seemed childish compared to sophisticated alternatives emerging. Modern layered salads use vinaigrette dressings but lack original architectural drama that made preparation impressive. Fresh fruit arrangements emphasize natural beauty over creative engineering. Today's church salads feature organic ingredients that cost more but miss the community satisfaction of engineering achievements. When assembly was artistry. The main event masters. Church potlucks required centerpiece contributions that anchored entire meals. Main dish mastery that demonstrated serious cooking commitment. Protein presentations that sustained fellowship gatherings. These weren't just entrees. They were edible foundations. Community nourishment that proved kitchen competence. Fellowship fuel that satisfied hungry congregations. 9. Ham and bean soup dominated winter potluck tables through resourceful cooking wisdom. Leftover holiday ham transformed into crowd-feeding masterpiece. Ham bone utilization that created rich broth from scraps. Demonstrated waste reduction values within church communities. Hearty soup that satisfied large congregations economically. Great northern beans. Ham bones simmered for hours. Onions. Celery. Carrots. Bay leaves. All-day cooking that filled fellowship halls with anticipation aromas. Made expensive holiday meat feed dozens through careful preparation. Showed resourcefulness that church communities valued deeply. Connected families to Depression-era cooking wisdom through traditional methods. 10. Chicken and dumplings showcase traditional cooking skills passed through generations. Comfort food that required genuine technique mastery. Dumpling preparation that separated accomplished cooks from amateurs. Connected congregations to culinary heritage and family traditions. One whole chicken stretched to feed 10 people through skillful preparation. Dumplings that required precise flour ratios. Timing coordination that prevented disasters. Traditional knowledge that impressed through authentic technique. 11. Beef stew brought families together around warming winter comfort. Cold weather fellowship that demonstrated patience through all-day preparation commitment. Slow cooking technique that transformed tough cuts into tender perfection. Inexpensive chuck roast. Root vegetables. Beef broth. Hours of careful simmering. Made tough meat tender through time investment. Showed dedication that went beyond convenience cooking. The innovation was protein multiplication. Making expensive meat feed entire congregations. Demonstrating kitchen skills that commanded respect. Creating fellowship abundance through traditional techniques. But convenience defeated tradition eventually. Fresh ham became affordable for regular consumption. Boneless chicken eliminated need for traditional preparation methods. Tender beef cuts reduced slow cooking necessity. All-day cooking conflicted with modern busy schedules. Modern soup kitchens serve simplified versions without traditional richness. Restaurant chicken lacks homemade satisfaction. Slow cookers promise convenience, but miss traditional flavor development. Today's church meals feature catered proteins that cost more but lack the community satisfaction of traditional preparation mastery. When cooking was commitment, the sweet traditions. Church fellowship concluded with dessert contributions that ended meals memorably. Sweet mastery that demonstrated baking dedication. Confectionery achievements that impressed through skill alone. These weren't just desserts. They were edible benedictions. Fellowship finales that showcased advanced technique. Community sweetness through traditional preparation. 12. Scripture cake combined faith with fellowship dining through biblical ingredient education. Recipe written in Bible verses that required scriptural knowledge for completion. Connected baking with Bible study and religious instruction. Interactive preparation that engaged both cooking and faith communities simultaneously. Required actual Bible study to decode ingredient references. Psalms 55 verse 21 for butter. 1 Kings 4 verse 22 for flour. Isaiah 7 verse 15 for honey. Jeremiah 6 verse 20 for sweet cane. Made baking into religious education experience that connected kitchen with sanctuary. Engaged entire families in biblical learning through recipe preparation. Made scripture memorization practical through cooking application. demonstrated faith integration with daily domestic activities. 13. Angel food cake represented labor-intensive dessert mastery through heavenly symbolism. Egg white technique that created ethereal lightness through skill alone. Perfect dessert imagery for church gatherings and spiritual themes. Advanced baking that separated accomplished cooks from amateurs. 12 egg whites beaten to perfection. Cake flour sifted multiple times. Sugar folded carefully. Tube pan cooling upside down. Technical precision that demanded complete mastery. Heavenly lightness that impressed through difficulty achievement. 14. Coconut cake marked special occasions through multiple preparation steps and patience demonstration. Fresh coconut preparation that showed commitment to excellence over convenience. Celebration dessert that commemorated important church events and milestone moments. Fresh coconut cracking. Meat grating by hand. 3-layer construction. 7-minute frosting. Labor-intensive creation that impressed through dedication rather than expensive ingredients. The innovation was spiritual symbolism, making desserts meaningful beyond taste satisfaction, creating fellowship conclusions that connected sweetness with faith expression, demonstrating devotion through difficult preparation commitment. But convenience eliminated sacred preparation. Store-bought versions offered reliable results without technical challenges. Biblical literacy declined, making scripture recipes inaccessible. Time-intensive preparation conflicted with convenience culture expectations. Modern church desserts emphasize purchase convenience over homemade dedication. Bakery reliability over traditional technique mastery. But they miss the spiritual satisfaction of creating sweetness through faith-connected preparation. When baking was believing. The side dish stars. Church fellowship tables required supporting players that completed the feast. Side dish artistry that elevated simple vegetables into memorable contributions. Complementary creations that rounded out community meals. These weren't just accompaniments. They were edible enhancements. Fellowship supplements that demonstrated cooking versatility. Table completers through traditional preparation mastery. 15. Cornbread dressing elevated Southern tradition into holiday-worthy sophistication. Simple ingredients transformed through cornbread foundation technique. Regional specialty that showcased Southern cooking heritage within congregational settings. Stretched expensive celery and onions through cornbread multiplication. Crumbled cornbread base. Sage seasoning. Celery. Onions. Chicken broth. Eggs for binding. Unique texture different from wheat stuffing that impressed through regional authenticity. Made ordinary vegetables seem special through traditional preparation methods. Connected congregations to Southern culinary heritage. Demonstrated regional pride through ancestral cooking techniques. Made humble ingredients feed large fellowship gatherings economically. 16. 3-bean salad provided protein and vegetables in single convenient dish. Picnic favorite that simplified potluck planning through make-ahead convenience. Vinegar preservation that allowed advanced preparation without spoilage concerns. Economical protein source that satisfied both vegetarian and meat-eating members equally. Kidney beans. Green beans. Wax beans. Sweet onion. Vinegar dressing. Sugar balance. Made beans palatable to reluctant vegetable consumers. Provided substantial nutrition without expensive meat requirements. 17. Cream corn made vegetables appealing to reluctant children through indulgent preparation. Midwest comfort food that transformed simple corn into rich side dish satisfaction. Cream sauce enhancement that made corn consumption enjoyable for entire families across generations. Seasonal corn abundance preserved through creaming technique innovation. Heavy cream. Butter. Sugar balance. Made vegetables taste like treats without seeming deceptive. The innovation was vegetable enhancement, making simple produce appealing through traditional techniques, creating substantial contributions without expensive ingredients. Fellowship completion through regional specialization, but convenience defeated tradition systematically. Box stuffing mixes offered shortcuts without homemade effort investment. Fresh bean varieties became available year-round, eliminating preservation necessity. Heavy cream preparations conflicted with health-conscious eating trends emerging. Modern side dishes emphasize fresh preparation over traditional enhancement, natural flavors over cream-based improvements. But they miss the community satisfaction of regional specialization mastery. When sides were stars, the bread basket brigade. Church fellowship demanded homemade bread contributions that completed every table. Yeast mastery that demonstrated serious baking commitment. Bread artistry that symbolized hospitality and welcome. These weren't just carbohydrates. They were edible hospitality. Fellowship foundations that showcased traditional homemaking abilities. Community welcome through grain transformation. 18. Dinner rolls represented yeast mastery through timing precision and advanced planning requirements. Bread-making technique that separated accomplished bakers from casual contributors. Required skill development that took years to perfect consistently. Impressive contribution that showcased traditional homemaking capabilities completely. Active dry yeast. Warm milk. Sugar feeding. Flour incorporation. Kneading rhythm. First rise patience. Shaping technique. Second rise timing. Baking precision. Made simple ingredients seem magical through technique mastery. Homemade bread symbolized care and effort beyond convenience cooking. Made fellowship tables feel welcoming through fresh-baked aromas. Demonstrated hospitality values that impressed through dedication rather than expense. 19. Banana bread transformed Depression-era resourcefulness into treasured fellowship treats. Waste reduction technique that created beloved dessert from overripe ingredients. Used fruit that would otherwise spoil while creating crowd-pleasing results consistently. Brown bananas. Flour. Sugar. Eggs. Butter. Baking soda. Simple ingredients that created impressive results through timing knowledge. Made resourcefulness seem sophisticated rather than desperate. Demonstrated thrift values within church communities that respected waste elimination. Connected congregations to Depression-era wisdom through practical cooking applications. Made humble ingredients feed fellowship gatherings economically. Frozen bread dough offered reliable results without technical challenges. Bread-making skills weren't transmitted to time-pressed younger generations. Fresh fruit became affordable enough that waste reduction lost practical importance. The Heritage Keeper. Church fellowship preserved one final tradition that connected past to present. Cultural identity food that anchored regional heritage. Bread mastery that represented generations of technique transmission. This wasn't just cornbread. It was edible ancestry. Fellowship foundation that showcased cultural pride. Community identity through traditional preparation. 20. Cornbread accompanied every Southern church gathering from soup suppers to barbecue celebrations. Regional staple that connected congregations to cultural heritage through ancestral cooking methods. Cast iron baking that created crispy exterior with tender interior perfection. Simple ingredients that created impressive results through technique mastery alone. White cornmeal, buttermilk, eggs, lard or bacon grease, baking powder, salt, cast iron skillet preheated until smoking. Batter poured into sizzling fat that created signature crust formation. Technique passed down through generations without written recipes. Created fellowship atmosphere through shared cultural identity expression. Made ordinary church meals feel connected to Southern heritage. Demonstrated community values through traditional preparation commitment. The innovation was cultural preservation, maintaining ancestral techniques when convenience pressured abandonment, connecting congregations to regional identity through food preparation traditions, creating community pride through heritage demonstration. But convenience eliminated cultural connection completely. Packaged mixes offered predictable results without technique requirements. Cast iron cooking seemed unnecessary when alternatives provided easier preparation. Modern ovens made traditional temperature mastery obsolete. Younger generations didn't learn cast iron seasoning methods from their mothers. Cultural transmission broke down as convenience became priority over heritage preservation. Today's cornbread uses convenient mixes that provide acceptable results without cultural significance. Modern versions lack traditional cast iron perfection that connected families to Southern identity. Contemporary church meals emphasize convenience over cultural preservation, quick preparation over heritage demonstration. But they've never replicated the community pride created through ancestral technique mastery. When cornbread was culture, these church potluck dishes represented more than shared meals. They were edible expressions of faith, community, and care. The belief that feeding others was a form of worship. That homemade food showed love better than store-bought convenience. We gained time efficiency, lost community connection, gained dietary awareness, lost the satisfaction of feeding multitudes with simple ingredients, gained convenience, lost the sacred ritual of preparing food as an act of service. Modern church gatherings emphasize catered convenience over homemade contribution, individual dietary restrictions over communal sharing. But they've never replicated the fellowship created when entire congregations cooked together, when potluck meant bringing your best dish and your open heart.